From the land of the rising sun comes the fiercest fighters, the hardest hits, and the brightest lights in pro wrestling. Joshi isn't just wrestling, it's heart, passion, and rebellion, packed into every single match. So lace up your boots, crank up the volume, and get ready to dive into the world where idols become icons and legends are born in the ring. This is where passion meets punk and wrestling meets pure chaos. Welcome to the Cult of Joshi with your host, Raja and John.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Cult of Joshi. I'm your host, Raja, and I'm joined by my co-host, John.
Hello.
And I hope that your wrestling week of watching things was as good as ours, because we have a million things to talk about.
Some bloody good things.
Some bloody good things.
Some gutty, wonderful things.
Yes, we do have so much to talk about, and I actually, we're going to go in a different order than normal. We're not going to start with AEW because we have a lot of thoughts about that. We're going to talk about a few, hits here and there, some
And then we're
cool
going to eventually
things.
get to Blood and Guts, right?
We are, yes. We
Blood
are
and
going
Guts-
to talk about Blood and Guts before Stardom.
Blood and Guts review coming on this show.
Yes, we do love our Blood and Guts, so we have to talk all about that. But first, let's talk about a few little tidbits here and there that we watched.
Okay.
That were super fun and enjoyable, starting with on November 7th, Pro Wrestling Eve had their Elite Encounters show, and it was fabulous, okay? We got on there, we got on the YouTube, we joined, we're members now, we got on the Eve train, and there's no stopping.
Yeah, I really can't believe that we were not on that train.
Right?
And
there's just so much to watch.
It's shameful.
It's a little ridiculous of us.
It's honestly shameful because in watching Eve, what here's how this went. We did join, and we are supporters.
Yes.
Did enjoy Elite Encounters. We'll get into that. But so Raja, left me alone to my devices.
As I have to do occasionally.
And in the few short hours a day that I'm not with Raja, watching women's professional wrestling.
Yes.
I think I watched the entire catalog of Eve.
You just fell down the rabbit hole.
Holy crap.
It's a good thing to go back and watch.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun stuff, man. I mean, it's a lot of things that, we've tossed around running a few shows and stuff, and I've ran plenty of shows in the past of my own, but never a women's only show.
Right.
And so we've talked about it before, and if we were, it would be very close to this.
They have been out there doing this thing for years, right?
Yeah.
They've just completely built this whole thing in the Girl Gang Clubhouse, and it's beautiful, and I love everything about it.
And obviously they got a lot more eyes now, and let's just call it what it is. Will Ospreay helping out, producing the shows is going to bring a few curious eyes.
Of course, yes. And some of the talent that they bring in, people who may not have been fans in the past would go and watch. I mean, it's always a good thing to have more eyes on a product, especially one that has this much heart and soul and just is so much fun to watch.
Yeah, one of the greatest things about it is a lot of their, with lack of a better word, homegrowns. I really enjoyed the fact of the stories and the character development that was present in
I did too.
I mean, the character development in these girls is amazing.
Yeah.
And, some of the stories, you knew right off the bat what the story was. Some stories were tried and true, like Nina Samuels,
yes,
and Abby Cartwright.
Yes,
that Abby Cartwright story. We've seen it thrown around in different ways over the years.
Yeah.
It's a trope, and I love it. And it's done.
It works for a reason.
Done very well on this one.
Yes. So this show in particular, Elite Encounters, was extremely fun. If you haven't seen it, it's totally worth the $13 or whatever it is to get to that level of membership on the Eve YouTube channel just to watch this show, because it's incredibly fun. It started off with 2 qualifying matches for their She Won tournament coming up in January. Those matches were Melissa Fierce versus Alexis Falcon, my bad, and Danny Moe versus Sapphire Reed. So 2 singles matches right off the bat. Then you're thrown into an international title, what was supposed to be a three-way between you, Anita Vaughn, and Chris Statlander, but turned into a four-way with a surprise return to Eve by one Alex Windsor. And this match, on top of being incredibly great, was also Yu's final match in Pro Wrestling Eve. And she has made quite a name for herself there, and it is very much like a second home to her over there in Pro Wrestling Eve. And they did the sweetest send-off for her. There was singing, there were video packages, she was crying, everyone came out to ringside. It was so cute.
Yeah, man, absolutely. It was great. I loved it. It was the video package they did was hilarious because everything you can have, everything I do it for you.
Yeah.
Playing on there to just every you song you can imagine. It was very much, amazing.
It really gives the feeling that this is a family, right?
It does.
The next match was an 8-man with some of the people you mentioned earlier. It was Zoe Lucas, Amira, Nina Samuels, and Abby Cartwright versus Sky Smithson, Violet Knight, Holly Barlow, and Lana Austin. And this was definitely the match of the night for me, just because of the interlocking stories and the hilarity of it, and just, I don't know, it was so much fun, and I enjoyed myself so much during this match, which is major brownie points for me.
Yeah, it was good fun. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
I mean, when you can have good fun and also see some great wrestling, that's what more could you want, man?
Yes. I love Zoe and Amira. I love the Nina Samuels, Abby Cartwright story. I love Lolly.
This is my favorite matches.
It was, everyone was on point. Then the singles match between Lucy Sky and Willow Nightingale, and wrapping it all up with the Eve Championship match between Rio and Nyla Rose.
Which almost went the damn time limit.
Overall, just a spectacular show.
Up the Eve.
just
the bloody Eve.
Give Pro Wrestling Eve a shot if you haven't. They are running the Indigo at the O2 next year in March, which they're trying to set the record for the largest European crowd for a women's only card over there. So doing big things, you know?
Yes.
Props to them.
All right, good stuff.
They're really at it. And then we watched Emi Sakura's 30th anniversary. Of course, the standout match in this one was everyone talking about Azumi versus
Mei
Saruga. Well, I blanked on her name. But that match was very popular.
Fantastic.
And everyone was looking forward to it. But the whole show was enjoyable. It started off with Emi Sakura. It ended with Emi Sakura. Yeah. It was an Emi Sakura fest. There were 4 Emi Sakuras in one of the matches.
Going through all the incarnations of Emi. And it was a lot. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was a celebration of Emi. But honestly, go out of your way to see it just for the Mei Saruga Azumi match. Great match. We loved it.
Yes. As you can imagine, with 2 athletes of that caliber, it's just crazy
just
stuff.
Great respect in it.
Yeah, so congratulations to Emi Sakura on your 30th wrestling anniversary. You deserve it. You're the queen. We bow down to you. Getting into a little Marigold, we
wow, I see what you did there.
We watched the November 13th
No. Fuck
show.
that. Fuck that. We have to address it. So
do we have to?
Yes.
I was just trying to slip it in.
So we say Marigold.
We do say Marigold.
And we will continue to say Marigold. No matter who says whatever, it's Marigold. So we watched a few, because we're making extra content. I'm just going to tell them they're our friends. They're our friends.
Yes.
So we're making extra content. We've talked about it. We've got most of this shit written already.
Yes.
We're doing some beginner guides. I'll say that.
Yes.
We're doing some fun stuff like that, and really serious about this. We're wanting to make a lot of extra content for you guys. And one of those is going to have something to do with Marigold. So I was like, you know what? I want to see what some of the other people, what are the Joneses doing?
You got to know your competition.
What are the Joneses doing? And have they done this? Is it exciting? Is it going to be fun like ours?
Right.
Or, and so I would, and everybody I turned to was like, Marigold.
Yes, most people tend to pronounce it Marigold because that's
Marigold.
The Japanese pronunciation of the A, but it's just Marigold, man. It's it's a typical word in English.
It's so funny because so many things we pronounce exactly like Ando will say it. Like we say so many things exactly like we hear Ando say it.
Yeah. He's our go-to source.
So, I mean, honestly, a lot of the pronunciations we do with a lot of the girls, we do it like they say it. Marigold is not one of those things.
It's just it's too much.
I don't know if it's the redneck in us. I don't know if it's I don't know what it is, but when I see it, I'm just like, oh, it's Marigold.
I mean, it's an English word, right? So it's very easy to just say Marigold because it's a flower that you could easily find here.
You know what? Is it okay if we put it up for a vote?
Sure. What do you guys think? Should we pronounce it Marigold like the Japanese pronunciation, or can we just keep saying Marigold?
Yeah.
How do you pronounce it? Curious to know.
There you go.
But we did watch some Marigold.
Yes.
The 11:13 show, which kicked off with a press conference in the middle of the ring to preview the Rhea Sato Victoria Yuzuki match, but also the full card for November 17th's Korakuen Hall show.
Yeah, and the press conference was fantastic.
It was so good. The personalities were on tonight.
Yeah, we love the personalities anyway, but it was just a lot of fun. I mean, it was low key. It was before the show, and
everyone's already in their gear and everything, ready to go.
It was just fun.
It was. So on the 13th, we had Hummingbird winning a singles match over Megaton, Nagisa Nozaki beating Irina Yamanaka, Naoya Ishikawa, Komomo Manami in a 4-way. Then we had Nagisa Tachibana and Yuki Minami versus Chiaki and Misa Matsui. Of course, the tag team champions won that match. Then Nightshade and Chika Goto getting a win over Kazuna Tanaka and Miku Aono. So Chika Goto getting a pin on Kazuna Tanaka, not on Miku Aono, but she did still win the match. Then we had Shioko Kushina and Mayu Iwatani defeat Yuka Yamazaki and Sarah Yamaoka. And in the main event for the United National Championship, Rhea Sato versus Victoria Yuzuki. And, they have a long-standing feud as kind of peers, classmates, as you will, in Young Marigold. And it was a good match. They really came out to perform on this show.
It was a good match. Rhea Sato, God bless her. Bless her heart. We watched her in that press conference.
It makes me so sad.
Just not able, again, to this day, she's still not able to say anything, to cut a promo. And it's so endearing, though.
I love it.
Of who she is. Because she goes in there and puts 1,000,000% in every match.
Yes.
But damn, she can't talk. I mean,
you could tell she wants to so bad. She has so much to say.
And the tears just start coming out. But this match, I think she did really well in this match. And she's just not there. Victoria Yuzuki is, man,
there are levels.
She is an incredible champion. We thought she would be an incredible champion at this level. And that finisher.
Oh, the Victory Sunset.
Whatever you want to call it.
It looks crazy every time she does it.
It looks like a double corkscrew to hell.
It does.
And it's phenomenal. It's scary.
Yes. But to Rhea's credit, she did a really good job of taking Victoria's knee out in this match and really trying to stay on her.
Yeah, she worked the knee.
But Yuzuki's just she's just special, okay?
Yeah.
There's just something about her. She is the United National Champion still to this day. But that November 17th Korakuen Hall card it looks like a lot of fun. I'm really excited.
A lot of fun coming up at Korakuen Hall.
I wrote it down in the order that they previewed it, which was from biggest match to smallest. So I'm going to go backwards up the list so that we go from the beginning of the card. So we will have Shioko Kushina and Komomo Minami versus Hummingbird and Yuka Yamazaki. Megaton and Kazuna Tanaka versus Rhea Sato and Nagisa Nozaki. I wrote her name the Japanese way. Nagisa Tachibana and Yuki Minami versus Chan Yota and Irina Yamanaka. This was one of those moments in the press conference that was really enjoyable. Nagisa and Yuki seem really serious about their tag team.
I think they're going to pull out an upset here.
That would be crazy. Chan Yota and Irina are not an easy out.
No.
Singles match between Naoya Ishikawa and the returning Mai Sakurai. And man, there's just something about Naoya Ishikawa. She came out of this press conference just in a sweatsuit with a bucket full of mud.
Yeah. Yeah, because of, comments that the queen, the lady made.
Yes, that Mai Sakurai was talking about drinking mud.
Yeah, so, she took a few bites of that substance. And it doesn't matter if she has face paint on or if she doesn't. She's insane.
She is. She's a crazy person.
Yeah, she's
I love it.
A lot of fun.
We'll also have a singles match between Mika Miku Aono and Chika Goto. And Chika, in the press conference, was very adamant that she deserves a title match for the Marigold World Championship. But Miku Aono is not so convinced. She's like, what makes you worthy of a title shot?
Well, I mean, she made some points about some people that Chica lost to.
Yes, she did list quite a few people that she had lost to.
I mean, so I think that, we'll see if she deserves it here.
Yes, Chica proposed that they allow the crowd in Korakuen Hall, or the fans, to decide if this should be a title match or not.
We'll see how that goes.
And Miku Aono was like, I think the fans know. I think they know. I don't know, Miku. I don't know how much faith you should be putting in the fans. Because they'll probably want to see a title match. Like, I don't think they're going to go the high road.
I don't know. That's the funny thing. I don't know with Japanese people.
That's fair.
If they'll be so refined that they'll be like, oh, no, you're not ready yet.
That's totally fair, and I would not be surprised in the least. I mean, these are the same people who voted down world title matches from the main event of Wrestle Kingdom in the past.
Yes.
They're like, no, you don't deserve it. Then, for the Twin Star Tag Team Championships, Misa Matsui and Chiaki will be defending against Victoria Yuzuki and Sareee Yamaoka. Literally the most super rookie team ever.
Dude, it's the most super team ever.
My God, these two as a tag team. And this little segment of the press conference was hilarious because Chiaki and Misa are kind of like, they're trying to pick on the rookies that they don't have like presence and talent, I guess, because they got up and started dancing.
Yeah.
And then Victoria and Sareee decided to do this little, like, Victoria on Saree's shoulders pose with their arms out to prove that they do indeed have presence. It was very funny.
Yes.
I love these girls. And then for the Superfly title, Mayu Iwatani will be defending against 15-year-old Coco, the high flyer.
Sounds amazing to me.
Talk about Superfly. That's going to be a Superfly match.
It's going to be a great match.
It's going to be nonstop action. I absolutely believe that. And I'm excited for this Korakuen Hall card. It's like the first really big card they've done since the Grand Destiny pay-per-view.
Which was amazing.
Which was incredible, yes. So, one last thing before we get to Blood and Guts that we watched this week from November 10th was Sareee-ism IX. And this was a 5-match card, and, you can't miss a Sareee-ism because she always puts on a great show.
Yes.
But this kicked off with Yurika Oka versus Celine Misora in a singles match. Yurika Oka tapped out Celine with an armbar. Then Akira Kuragane and Ronnie Yagami took on Miku Kanai and Chi-Chi in a little, like, Stardom versus the world type of thing. Miku Kanai and Chi-Chi had a lot to say about facing the Stardom girls in this match, and they backed it up because they won. They beat Akira specifically. Akira's been struggling a little bit lately, but that's to be expected when you're so fresh into your career, right? As Akira is. Yeah. All these other girls have so much more experience on her. Then a singles match between Mirai and Yuri, and Mirai coming in, winning this match by submission. It was like, okay, she like figure four'd the legs.
Yes.
Then she pulled Yuri's arm between her legs, then pulled her other arm up, and it was the craziest looking submission I think I've ever seen, like in a while.
Yeah, it was very Mirai.
It was very Mirai. Doesn't surprise me that she would pull something like that out on a card like this. In the semi-main, we had a powerhouse match. Nightshade and Vinny took on Kaoru Ito and Bozilla. And, there was a lot of talking in this match, specifically by Bozilla toward Vinny. She very much wanted to face Vinny in the match, and Vinny couldn't care less, you know how she is. But Bozilla did not give up. She actually won this match by choking Vinny until she passed out.
Yeah.
So
there's been a lot of talk about Bozilla in general.
Yeah.
And I there's been some comments I've seen on social media here and there about Bozilla's lack of respect. Mm-hmm. And some things questioning her, her level really on the respect side of things, which is so important in Joshi and in Japanese wrestling, in Japan, period. So I don't know how much of that is, the Fabe. I don't know how much of that is the character
itself. It's so hard to
tell. She's kind of always been disrespectful in the kayfabe world.
Right, because she just talks, right?
Yeah.
She just says whatever she comes to her mind.
Yeah, she does. So I don't know. It's interesting. This was very chippy.
It was.
It was very chippy. It felt like it was, building up to a singles match, like she was asking for. She asked for a singles match afterwards and everything. I would love to see a singles match.
Yeah, just to see what happens.
Because, Vinny's a freaking goer, man. I mean, Vinny can go. And
I agree completely.
Both Bozilla and Vinny would be interesting as hell.
It would be.
It feels very shooty McShoot pants.
It did. This match definitely was a little scary to watch. It's like, are they, aren't they kind of thing.
Yeah,
but it was
the fun kind of uncomfortable.
It is, yes, especially with girls with this much power. Like they were really laying it in on each other.
Yeah.
Then in the main event, we had Chihiro Hashimoto and Natsupoi versus Suzu Suzuki and Sareee. And this was Saree's handpicked main event, her match that she asked Natsupoi to be a part of. And it lived up to what we expected. You got Big Hosh in there throwing people around. You got Suzu just brawling her heart out. And then, of course, Natsupoi and Sareee doing what they do best, just violence in the most beautiful way. And it really seemed to shake something into Natsupoi during this match. She was very emotional afterward and talked about how she wished that she could just be in a battle like that forever because that's what she loves. And she thanked Sareee for that, but also said, I'm gonna crush you.
Yeah.
So her goal now is just to overcome Sareee and get her passion back through that avenue of crushing her best friend. She did reiterate that they are best friends in real life.
Yeah.
So there's no real life hard feelings, but she does want to crush her in the ring.
And we had a discussion offline about this. When you're Sareee and you are top of the game, you're top of the world in Joshi. I mean, you're 100% the woman right now. Mm-hmm. Regardless of belts, regardless of all that, you know who the top girl is, and she is up there. And I think because of the violence that she brings, violent by design as it is, I believe that people come into it like a World Series. They come into it being violent themselves, so she invites that. She invites that, and it is the passion, it is a passion match. It's a Nanai Takahashi. It's one of those things where you're coming out there, man, and you're ready to go. You're going to give her your 100% best that you can give.
Yeah, because she's not going to take it easy on you.
Yeah, and it's exciting. I think it's fun. I think it's good. And we've seen it recently with Yuna. She lit something in Yuna that still hasn't went out.
Yeah. Yuna's just gone crazy.
It's fun, and I think that if she does that with Poi, even more.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I'm there for it, man.
Me too.
A lot of this card felt like it was setting up the next Sareee-ism.
Yeah, I think for the rest of this year, there's probably going to be a lot of emphasis on that Natsupoi story, getting her fire back and finding that passion within herself. She did lose to Sareee in this match, and I also really love just the random respect between Suzu Suzuki and Sareee. They just became great buddies and pals after that 5-star Grand Prix match. They were like, yeah, I like you. You're one of me. That's all good. I love that.
Me too.
It's always good fun. But that brings us to AEW Blood and Guts because, on November 12th, we had 12 women in 2 rings, 1 cage.
Oh, you said it right.
3 words, blood and guts. I mean, I said it a little backwards.
You said it backwards, but yeah.
I did get the numbers right at least.
Yeah, it's 3 words, 2 rings, 1 cage.
Yes.
So Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina, North Kakalaki. One of my favorite coliseums, one of my favorite arenas in the world. I've been there multiple times. The last time I was there was the night that CM Punk teamed with Sting and teamed with who was the other person in that 6-man? Holy crap. Darby.
Oh,
and they were all 3 wearing the face paint against FTR.
That was a great match.
And it was a great match. It was a holiday bash in 2021. That was the last time that I was there in that arena and felt that vibe and that love. Obviously, this is also the place they had Sting's retirement. Sting's last match, 16,000 people, bringing back. But it's also the place that they've had the final conflict. The Briscoes back in the day. They've had so many incredible pay-per-views in that place. They've had so many. They've had Starcade. They've had so many incredible events in that building, and those walls, if those walls could talk. It's just been all about great wrestling. And, so what a place to have, not just Blood and Guts, but the first female Blood and Guts, which has been so taboo for so long because, when the women's wrestling was starting to be taken seriously, because of the women's revolution and all that, it still stayed away from some of the tropes of wrestling, some of the violence, some of the, for some good reasons, right? Except
the women are bloodthirsty.
If you go back, again, to our favorite stuff, to 80s, to 90s, Joshi.
Yeah.
It's all violence. And it's all and it's more violent than anything you'll ever see in wrestling. And it doesn't have to have gimmicks, doesn't have to have weapons. It's 100% just the emotion, the violence, and it's a beautiful violence.
Yeah.
It is absolutely competition violence.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much to Blood and Guts, but they want to go out there and show, we can put on this match not just as good, but better. And brother, let me tell you, I'll let you get to your review, but this is 100%.
Oh my God.
This is my favorite Blood and Guts that I've ever seen. This is also my favorite War Games I've ever seen because this is the War Games match. I've seen a War Games match live back in the day, and I've been lucky enough to see it live a few times. I've been there for pay-per-views back in the 90s that were centered around War Games.
Right.
And, I got to see fake Sting and real Sting and all this stuff, live in Winston-Salem and things like this. Like, I have been there for these.
Yeah.
They're normally boring as shit.
Right, because it's just not easy to get right.
That's not the way people think about them.
Right.
They're like, oh, they're all excited. Unfortunately, once you get past like the first 5-minute interval or whatever, a lot of times it kind of has lagging to it. It kind of gets waiting around for spots.
Yeah.
It gets, or there's no spots and it's just a schmoz the whole time.
Right.
This match had story.
Oh my goodness.
It had substance. It built to other things.
Yeah.
Even the finish, which you'll get to, it built to something. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And the hillside we have, the baby face we have, it's very well defined.
Yeah.
And it was violent as hell. I will shut up, but I'm just telling you, this match, to me, go to hell, Dave Meltzer. It was 5 stars, not 4.5.
It was amazing. And it really goes to show, the respect in Joshi terms, someone like the Prominence brand and Risa Sera, who has so many accolades behind her, just being in the sort of deathmatch arena. But women in America, they don't always get that same sort of, they don't get as lifted up when they do things like this.
Right.
But in our minds, this is incredible and amazing, and it's clear that these women are very passionate about it. In this match, I love the way it was laid out. I love the order of everything. It just made so much sense, and it was so perfect. The layering of storylines in this women's division is crazy. It's like every time someone would match up, it's like, oh, look, another story. that they have a thing that's going on. It's so good. So we started off the match with Willow Nightingale versus Sky Blue. And just seeing Sky come out first was, I don't know, it just hit so good. The way that she looked and everything. She was ready to go. She talked all that stuff about how she's been waiting 5 years to be in a Blood and Guts. She said, this is my match during the match. I love her so much. But you follow that up with, you followed it up with Julia Hart and Harley Cameron. So you've got tag team versus tag team in a match that is coming up in the tag team tournament. So you're immediately right off the bat building toward that storyline, the animosity that they have against each other because they're competing for those tag team titles separate from this match. It was just such a good beginning to Blood and Guts and really kept the interest high while we're waiting for everyone to get in the ring and start the official match. Then you've got Tekla come out and then Jamie Hayter, and we know that those two have a beef because Tekla took Jamie Hayter out in her debut, and they have not forgotten about that. Megan Bayne was next, followed by Chris Statlander, the two biggest girls in the match, very heavy hitters. Then Mercedes Moné coming right out after the champ. They have a match coming up at Full Gear, followed by Mina Shirakawa, then Marina Shafir and Toni Storm to round out the field. And when Marina Shafir got out there was just a total ambiance change. I don't know what happened, but she got out there, immediately targeted Chris Statlander because of, I imagine, Chris's refusal to join the Death Riders and the way that she took everyone out during that incident in the ring. Threw her on a bed of nails, no less, during this match before even getting in the cage. It was gnarly. And then the big finale of Toni Storm joining the fray was just so beautiful. But there were crazy spots in this match. There were chairs to the face. There were barbed wire kendo sticks. There was a table set up in between the rings that refused to break because its legs just kept going down in between the rings. Megan Bayne took just a flat back bump on the middle section of the rings. That's just two aprons, two hardest parts of the rings put together. Then probably one of the coolest moments, something that the men cannot physically do, which you don't see often, right? The women physically doing something that the men cannot. In the Sisters of Sin climbing through the cage to get out, through the middle bit of the cage, there's a diamond-shaped hole. They could fit through that. They climb out that way.
Well, it was Tekla and...
It was Tekla,
yeah.
You're right. It was Tekla and Julia Hart. We were on the Julia Hart side, so we got to see her climb completely through the cage. They harassed Mike Posey for the key to the cage. Tekla took him out with a spear, so they unlocked it, and then it began this whole ending sequence, this storyline of them pulling the other team's members out of the cage to isolate somebody so they could easily win the match.
Yeah. Just...
It's hard to convey.
It's just unreal. And I'll let you keep going on your review. I'm saving it.
It was amazing. I mean, you've got Mercedes Moné in a match like this, and I loved how she played her character because she clearly doesn't want anything to do with all this crazy stuff that's going on. But Chris Statlander getting there, tacks flying everywhere when she hit Sky Blue with the bag. Sky Blue's blood, just Sky Blue's blood all over the place. Multiple girls bled in this match. Penelope Ford getting a hand in there. Queen Aminata coming out to chase her off. There was so much good in this match.
I mean, the finish was just so amazing.
Yeah.
The finish with Mina Shirakawa, sitting there, and you have your top baby face, being held back.
Yeah,
and doing the old gimmick where they're beating the hell out of her friend. That we've established, they love each other, and she was the only one there when she was down and everything. And all the heels holding her back while they beat the shit out of her best friend,
the crap out of her,
and having to, her having to give up the match because of that. That is a beautiful finish. It's an awesome finish. And, has the humanity there. Also shows a little bit of weakness out of a baby face.
A little bit.
Which I love. But, so much, like you said, in this match, it kills me that Megan Bayne right now is doing a feat that is so old school. She's, going straight from Japan in the tag tournament, coming back to the States to be in that tag tournament, coming back to the States to be in Blood and Guts, flying right back to Japan to be back in the Stardom tournament. It's awesome and incredible. Just really, really just next level. Congratulations on that. And Megan Bayne, listen, seeing her in Stardom again, as we said the last time, it just reminds you that Megan is a world champion. Megan is a forever champion. Megan is one of those people that is just, she has the look and she has everything. I just love her for that. I love her for what she did on there. But really, the standout, there was a lot of standouts in this, and you've named so many names. They're just, the women's division is so amazing.
It is
in
stacked.
AEW right now. I mean, you got Hayter coming out there. You got, Mercedes, like you're talking about, giving out the belts from different places to all her team.
God, that's so good. She's just throwing belts from different places into the cage.
Harley Cameron working above her pay grade. Her experience grade right now,
and doing incredible,
just doing incredible, never screwing up. Harley is a gamer, man. She's got the gamer face.
Yeah,
she's out there giving it hell. I think Tekla has really come here and made herself a star, and is believable as that leader.
Absolutely.
The Sisters of Sin have really established themselves. And speaking of one of those, as we talked about, Sky Blue, I want to say MVP of this thing because of the emotions that she gives, the freaking bloodbath that she was able to give. I'm always a big fan of the good bleeders, man. And Sky came out there, and she just, how fired up and that emotion that she had. Good Lord, she really was enough to carry, and everybody came out of this talking about Sky Blue.
Yeah.
And we had been seeing this in Sky now for a while, and talk about her entrances and how she, stares at the camera, and that way she knows her character. This is her character, dude. No matter what she's ever done before, the hell with it. This is her character. It's like when Tony found Timeless. I think this is Sky Blue. This is the Sky Blue we always need, because she is great.
Yeah, she's definitely grown so far.
Oh yeah, and being this person. But honest to God, you said it in this review. I really have put a lot of thought to this, because how do you MVP a perfect match? And really, with all this talent in there, I truly believe that the booking is the MVP, because the booking on Marina Shafir, the booking on somebody who came in. And if you remember that god-awful promo, and again, not her fault.
You don't know me.
You don't know me. You don't. If you go from
we
that,
don't forget.
Again, not her fault, right?
Yeah.
But so many women that have had the gimmick that have come from MMA. It's a hard thing to do, because you don't want to job out pro wrestling. But so you have to respect the MMA, but at the same time, you gotta put her over, right? You gotta and put over pro wrestling. So having her come out as the badass that she has been, the heater for the top heel group in the company. Yeah. Being the heater for that top heel group. Thank you, John Moxley.
Yeah, seriously.
This has been amazing. And the way she was used in this, when she come out, it was like business is picked up, JR, because she is so believable. And she is just such a badass that right now, any new eye that tuned into this, and there was hundreds of thousands of new eyes that tuned into this. We don't know the max numbers or whatever, but regardless, it was way above the line that I don't give a damn about Nielsen, but the only thing I care about Nielsen, because it's just a representation of so many people, blah, 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 blah. But the thing that matters on those things is spikes and dips. Yeah. So if you are always category, we're looking at this, we're polling these 5 people every week. Well, if this week there's 8 people instead of 5, that's a big deal. If there's 3 instead of 5, that's a big deal. There was 8 instead of 5 this week. Right. And, so we got the new eyes on there. So yes, we gave them every story. We gave them everything that was coming up. We gave them a reason to watch. We gave them a killer finish. But Marina Shafir really has done amazing as this character. Yeah. And out of freaking nowhere, getting back in the ring really and doing this. Yeah. And I think she was booked correctly in this, as was everyone.
Yeah, I mean, God bless her spending over a year just being a second for the Death Riders, like not really wrestling that much, but cementing herself as that terrifying presence that you don't want around. Like she's just there to cause trouble, and she's the real deal. And she comes out here looking like the total badass that she is, and she's the one that had Mina Shirakawa down at the end. Tony and Mina will be possibly facing Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir in the tag team tournament, and have Marina just be part of that and completely brutalize Mina Shirakawa.
Well, I mean, the booking for everything, even in the men's match, we won't go through the men's match, but I will say this, the booking in that was genius because you've been seeing the demise of Jon Moxley's leadership.
Yes.
And so we've been seeing it in little ways, and there was hints dropped throughout the entire match. Even Danielson on commentary was kept second guessing what was happening. He's like, well, that's not like John. That's not like John at all.
Yeah.
Why would John do that? And they even made it seem like John changed the order of him coming out last.
Yeah.
To come out when they had the advantage.
Yes, because they had injured or Don Callis had injured Mark Briscoe ahead of the match.
So he comes out when they had the advantage. And obviously he's given up a few times, which, and that's been a thing.
Yes.
With him giving up.
He's been getting himself disqualified to avoid tapping to certain moves.
Ever since he lost the I Quit.
Yes.
Like ever since he lost that I Quit, something broke in him.
Yes.
And, it's been a beautiful thing that's happening. And I think it's one of those things that people see later on a video package that as it's happening, you don't notice it quite as much. But once again, this entire story, this entire match was based around that. And even the finish, which not one review I've watched has pointed out the thing Raja pointed out as we're watching the finish with Kyle O'Reilly tapping him out. Talk about that.
With the ankle lock. It's because after that I Quit match, the very first thing that happened was the ankle lock on Jon Moxley against Kyle O'Reilly in a singles match, and the Death Riders interfered because Mox was that close to tapping, and they lost by disqualification, but he didn't give up in that match, and that led to the whole thing with Roddy and everybody. He keeps having these matches, and then when they announced that the third advantage match would be him and Roderick Strong, he told Danny, he was like, you better win that second match, because he didn't want to face Roddy, and he's just had this underlying tone of cowardice to him since that I Quit match, and it got to this point, and Kyle O'Reilly locked in that ankle lock, and there was no one there to save Mox, and he had to give up at last. Kyle O'Reilly got that win that he deserved.
I think it's super interesting because I think that there is a reckoning coming, a huge one on the leadership of that group.
Yeah.
I don't know if the group will completely go away or if there'll be a new leader, kind of like a gang. Like if you're watching Sons of Anarchy. Yeah. And they just have to...
It very well could be a new leader.
Yeah, get a new leader in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting.
It is.
But the reason I bring it up is because the booking...
Yeah.
Was so well done.
It was. And
all night.
I loved the men's Blood and Guts match. Yeah. Obviously, there was top of the cage shenanigans, which I hate, but nobody jumped off of it, so that's okay. Yeah. Mark Briscoe up there being a crazy person. Darby going through a flaming table. The stunts in this match were insane and incredible and done so perfectly well. But for me, the women's match just hits on an emotional level that I don't know. I know the men can get me there because they have in the past, but that night on Blood and Guts, on Dynamite, it was the women all the way for me. I love that match. It was so good. I had so many emotions.
I'll never forget it. And it was so perfect, and everything has been built up just so beautifully to get to this point. And again, so well defined. It's never been this well defined.
Yeah.
It's a special moment to be in a place where, and I don't care about tribalism. I'm not talking about anything against anybody else. I hope everybody does as well. And I hope they have the best war games ever in a couple of weeks. Yeah. I don't give a damn about any of that. That's not what I'm talking about.
Thrive.
What I'm talking about is this world, this match, this thing. It was as close to having that Japanese women's wrestling feel that you can get because you had teams, you had, emotion, and you had multi-layered storytelling.
Yes. Honestly, Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa walked so that this match could run.
Yes.
That's where it all started.
Yes.
And here we are. And what a glorious place to be. And honestly, next year, let's get some more Joshi in there. Bring those girls will go freaking wild if you bring them over. The right ones. Get Suzu Suzuki in there, see what happens.
No, let's not do that.
We've seen what she does.
No, that's too crazy for this.
But could you imagine a couple of
I like to see
harder core?
Dash Chisako.
Oh, Dash Chisako would be so good.
She would jump off the top.
I would be so here for that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. So that was Blood and Guts. We loved it. I hope you guys loved it because it was amazing.
Yes.
But there is a tag team tournament happening right now in Japan, in Stardom. There are a couple shows we need to go through here. So I'm just going to we're just going to get through these because, you know, if you watched them, you watched them. If you didn't, then me telling you crazy stuff about it's not going to, like, ruin, it's not going to bring anything to mind for you. So let's get through these matches and see what we have so far in the tag team tournament. On November 8th, in Blue Goddess, we had Hanako and Megan Bayne picking up their first win over Aya Sakura and Sayaka Kurara, looking like the beast tag team they are. Ruaka Rina and Ram Kai Chao teamed up to take on Momo Kogo, Yuna Mizumori, and Mei Seira, and Ruaka Rina and Ram won this match. I love that team.
I love Ram and Rina.
They're so cute.
Ram and Rina together is just the perfect thing.
They have such a cute friendship now, I think.
Yes.
Then in Red Goddess, Miku Kanai and Sareee picked up a win over Rion and Waka Tsukiyama. In another red match, Osita and Teo Teleko took on Akira Kuragane and Bozilla. Osita choked out Akira to win this match for their team.
And that is my favorite new team in the world.
They're so good.
Yes.
They're just, it's so good.
Yes.
In the next match, Kikyo Furusawa, Lady C, and Ami Sori defeated Konami, Natsukatora, and Saya Kamatani. Ami Sori actually getting a pin over the Wonder of Stardom champion, Konami, in this match. Interesting. In Blue Goddess, B. Priestley and Sareee-ism defeated Saki Kashima and Shiri. It was very close. Saki Kashima almost got the Kishikaise, okay? Then, in another Blue Goddess match, Miyu Amasaki and Azumi defeated Suzu Suzuki and Rina Yamashita. So, not a great start to the tournament for Suzu and Rina. Another roll-up here against them. Suzu taking the Azumi Sushi. You know, it's hard to get out of the Azumi Sushi. Then, in the main event, in Red Goddess, Sariano and Natsupoi defeated Rana Yagami and Hina in a very fun main event. So, that brings us to the next night, November 9th. In Red Goddess, Akira Kuragane and Bozilla defeated Yuna Mizumori and Mei Seira, so finally some points on the board for them. You know, Bozilla with the powerbomb on Mei, so it's kind of a done deal. Then another Red Goddess match, Osita and Teo Teleko defeated Rion and Waka Tsukiyama. And a third Red Goddess match, Rana Yagami and Hina picking up their first win over Miku Kanai and Sareee. Hina with the jackhammer on Miku Kanai. Pretty big win for that God's Eye team. I think
so, yeah.
In a 6-man match, the 9-man match, my bad. 3 teams of 3. Momo Kogo, Sareee-ism, and B. Priestley defeated both Aya Sakura, Sayaka Kurara, and Natsupoi, and Rina, Konami, and Saya Kamatani. And Sareee-ism actually pinned Konami in this match, so we might be having a little Ami Sori Sareee-ism feud to determine who's going to be first up to take on Konami for the white belt. Then in the Blue Goddess side, we saw Saki Kashima and Shiri defeat Miyu Amasaki and Azumi. You know, once Shiri throws on that ground Suzaku stretch, there's no getting out of that. Poor Miyu Amasaki. And in the main event, Hanako and Megan Bayne defeated Ami Sori and Lady C for 2 more points in their camp. That takes us to November 12th. In Red Goddess, Sariano and Natsupoi defeated Yuna Mizumori and Mei Seira in an excellent opening match. Like, it was a crazy opener for this night. This match was so good. Natsupoi did pin Yuna, and Yuna was not very happy about it, but, you know, Cosmic Angels, they'll be okay. Then, Rion and Hanako took on Momo Kogo and Rana Yagami, and Momo and Rana won this. Rana getting the win over Rion with a little paradiddle there. Then we had Miyu Amasaki versus Waka Tsukiyama versus Saya Kamatani in a 3-way match.
Surprise.
Miyu pinning Waka Tsukiyama with a little clutch pin there. Next, we had a pretty big match, person-wise. You know, there were a lot of people in it. Kikyo Furusawa, Aya Sakura, Sayaka Kurara, and Azumi took on Akira Kuragane, Bozilla, Rina Yamashita, and Suzu Suzuki. So the full force of, right now, with Itsuki not here, of Mavita Loca. And it was Akira who submitted Kikyo Furusawa to win this match for her team. And Bozilla actually gave Akira her props after this win. She was so excited. Akira was so excited. She wants Bozilla's she wants affirmations from Brazilla so bad. She is just searching everywhere for them. It's amazing. In Red Goddess, Ruaka and Natsukatora defeated Miku Kanai and Sareee. So Miku and Sareee not doing too hot in the beginning of this tournament because Miku being so young, it's very easy for her to get pinned. Then in Blue Goddess, Saki Kashima and Shiri got yet another win over Rina and Konami. Shiri once again using the Ground Suzaku to get the win. And in Blue Goddess, Lady C and Amisori defeated Sareee and B. Priestley. Amisori actually pinned Sareee in that match, so maybe we won't be having any sort of competition. Maybe Amisori's already won the competition to challenge for the white belt. And our final show on November 13th, we started off in Red Goddess, Miku Kanai and Sareee getting a win over Akira Kuragane and Bozilla in a very, very hard-hitting match. You know how Sareee and Bozilla are.
The Sareee Bozilla parts in this match are worth the price of admission.
Yeah, this opening, I don't know what the opening matches have been on lately, but
this was an amazing match, guys. Really, go out of your way and watch it. This is a good match.
It was, yes. And unfortunately, Akira did take the loss in this one for her team, so Bozilla not so happy about that. Ruaka, Natsukatora, and Sayaka Matani defeated Momokogo, Sareee, and B. Priestley. Little Star Crusher action in that one. Then Lady C and Amisori defeated Kikyo Furusawa and Rana Yagami. Lady C thrust kick through Kikyo's face. She's gotten so good at that thrust kick. It's scary. After that, Hanako and Rini Yamashita teamed up to take on Aya Sakura and Sayaka Kurara, and this match was just so enjoyable.
Goofy.
It was hilarious. There was this whole game of chicken spot where the babies, Aya and Sayaka, got on each other's shoulders to try to reach Hanako's hand, and then Rina Yamashita got on Hanako's shoulders, and Aya and Sayaka started, pushing them back and forth to the ropes while Rina's still up there. It was so funny.
Yeah, it was great.
There was also, I just wanted to shout out Hanako's electric chair backdrop suplex because it is
vicious,
ugly and devastating and crazy. But Hanako did get the win in this match with the JP coaster on Aya Sakura, and then Rina Yamashita immediately recruited everyone into the Bloody Girls School.
Yes.
Because that's their mission, I guess. Following that, in the semi-main event in Blue Goddess, Rina and Konami got a win over Miyu Amasaki and Azumi. Azumi tapped out to Konami's dangerous rear naked choke that she uses to just take out everyone these days. And in the main event, in Red Goddess, Mei Seira and Yuna Mizumori got a win over Rion and Waka Tsukiyama with Mei's arm trap powerbomb on Rion. So, 4 pretty crazy nights of Goddess of Stardom Tag League action. It's been a really fun tournament. It seems like everyone's really having a great time, having a blast with these matches.
Yeah, and there's been some changes. There's some injuries. There was already injuries going into this, and now there's some more injuries, which makes for a really fun weekend coming up because they had buses come in with girls from other places.
Yeah, and got some Diana and some Wave going on on the Stardom shows.
And bro, we were already excited about this show coming up first.
Yes, the 15th.
Because, it's like basically a week after the show that blew our minds.
Opening night.
Night 1 of the tag tournament, which, again, if you haven't seen night 1, go watch night 1.
Needs to be seen.
But we were really excited about this show, and now with some of our favorites from Diana and Wave on there.
Yeah, because, you got Megan coming back in for the weekend shows, and then you've got, Nanami and Hanoka and everyone from Diana, coming in to fill in slots because Suzu's sick and everything, so there's been a few little problems here and there, but it's okay, because we got friends.
Yeah,
that can come
dude,
out.
It's going to be really hot because there's a lot of things in there. A lot of, I think, matches that just make me excited.
Yeah.
A lot of the girls that if I was to pick who I was going to borrow to come fill up some slots on a card, I would have picked most of these girls.
Yeah.
Which is what's so funny about it is it's really the ones I really like.
Yeah, me too. But let's talk standings.
Yes, let's
So, in the Red Goddess side of things, we have Natsupoi and Sareee currently sitting on top, alone with 6 points. Then in the 4-point range, we have Ruaka and Natsukatora, Yuna Mizumori and Mei Seira, Osita and Teotleko, and Miku Kanai and Sareee. And then with 2 points, we have Hina and Rana Yagami and Bozilla and Akira Kurogane. And at the bottom with 0 points, Waka Tsukiyama and Rion. So still very close, but Natsupoi and Sariano are currently undefeated. So they're the ones to watch right this second in Red Goddess.
Yeah, I think that Asita and Tio are still, they're looking like some favorites to me. I think that Yuna and May, still they have something there that's just exciting that I really like.
Agree.
The tag champs, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, basically the top 4.
Yeah.
Are looking like the top 4 to me. I know we talked about a lot of times these things change around.
Yeah.
But the top 4, I mean, Natsupoi and Sari are looking freaking hard to beat.
Yeah.
But I just love, my favorites would obviously be Asita and Tio there.
Yes, Asita and Tio.
And Yuna and May. That's my favorites.
Those are the 2 teams we're definitely keeping a close eye on because they're just so enjoyable to watch. Then on the Blue Goddess side of things, Shiri and Saki Kashima are currently leading the pack with 6 points. Amazing stuff. Then with 4 points, we have Saya Ida and B. Priestley, Hanako and Megan Bain, and Konami and Rina. In the 2-point camp, we have Azumi and Miyu Amasaki, Aya Sakura and Sayaka Kurara, and Amisori and Lady C. And at the bottom was 0 points, Suzu Suzuki and Rina Yamashita. And it's worth pointing out that Aya and Sayaka's 2 points did come from a forfeit win because Suzu couldn't be there for that match. So Suzu and Rina took a loss on that one and gave them the points.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite on this is obviously Hanako and Megan Bain.
Yes, they haven't had as many matches as everyone else, obviously, because Megan has had to go back and forth, but they're still up there. I
don't know what will happen with it, but or what you can do with Megan really after the fact. But they're an exciting team, and for some reason, Megan being with Hanako changes Hanako.
Yeah, it just definitely makes her more vicious and terrifying somehow.
Instantly, she's a different person.
Yeah, I agree completely. So this weekend, we have more tag action. It's actually we have 2 more shows this weekend, and then a full week off until next Sunday, which is crazy. But the 15th and the 16th are bound to be, especially the 15th. It's a 2-nighter in Sapporo, so it's pretty cool to have that back-to-back in the same place. And then, of course, on November 17th, it is the Marigold Korakuen Hall show that we talked about earlier. That's going to be really exciting. But there is one more thing happening this weekend that I wanted to shout out because the card is just impeccable.
Because it's our pick of the weekend.
Oh my goodness. So
we're so excited about this card.
On the 16th, Chihiro Hashimoto is having her 10th anniversary of wrestling show. And this card is just so good that they put together.
I called it the Big Hash Bash.
Yes, it's the Big Hash Bash to us. So this card is Chi-Chi and Soy versus Yuna and Yura Suzuki.
Yes.
Senka Akatsuki versus Spike Nishimura in the final of the Jaojima tournament.
Yes.
To see who gets a shot at the junior championship. Shin Sakura Hirota versus Yu versus Aja Kong.
Dude. I mean, it's fun right off the bat thinking about it, but Aja's also the one who injured her shoulder.
Yes, with the super
that she would tell the story about every time.
She told it constantly.
God, I hope she tells the story in this one.
Oh my goodness. In the 4th match, we have the Cosmic Angels, Natsupoi and Aya Sakura versus Bob Momo Banana, Mio Momono, and Eureka Oka. Talk about a fun match.
I mean, honestly, it's really, really fun because if you match up the 2 teams and you put they match up really well.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Poi versus Mio Momono. I feel like that's going to be insane.
Yeah.
And Aya Sakura and Eureka Oka, but also Eureka versus Natsupoi. Every single matchup just feels exciting.
Feels fun, yeah.
Next, we will see in a singles match, Maria versus Dash Chisako.
I would drive over the ocean on a car going so fast that it stayed above the water to buy a ticket to see just that match.
It's so good.
Because they're both so violent.
It's going to get unhinged fast.
Good Lord.
I love it so much. In the semi-main event, in tag team action, we have Miki Iwata and Miyuki Takase, Red Energy, taking on Veni and Takumi Iroha.
Red Energy taking on Strange Energy. And
it's so good.
Oh my God.
And in the main event, in a singles match, which I believe they made a title match at Sareee-ism, Sareee versus Chihiro Hashimoto. So it's so good. Like, I love the weirdness of it. I love how different it is. How many people are in. You got Marvelous
and
in
also
there.
though they're at Cork and Hall.
Yeah, and in Cork and Hall. I mean, this is going to be maybe the show of the weekend. It's hard to say. That 15th card, that Cork and Hall show for Marigold, like, they're all contenders for show of the weekend.
Seriously, they're all contenders for show of the weekend.
I can't wait to see how they stack up, and I can't wait to come back and talk about them.
Yeah, me too.
After the weekend.
Honest to God, haven't been this excited about 4 shows, but very excited about 3 of them.
Yes.
I haven't been excited about this many shows in a weekend in a long time.
Yeah, and this is coming off such a crazy week of wrestling where we watched so many random things. We watched DDT at random.
Oh my God,
which is something we never have time to do.
Yeah.
But we get on there and we just have the best time.
We
of our
watched
entire
it long
lives.
enough to fall in love with some people.
Listen. Konosuke Takeshita versus Antonio Honda was such a good match.
Oh my God.
It had no right to be that good.
the mentor, but just the emotions in that match.
Oh my God.
Even doing comedy shit.
The story.
The emotion.
Takeshita didn't want to hurt him.
Oh.
It was so good. Okay, I'm sorry. But that's all we have for you guys this week. We just had a great week. We had a lot of fun. And I had a lot of fun talking about it as well because it's just been so good. It continues to be good through the end of the year, all the way up through Dream Kingdom, and even into Wrestle Kingdom. And next year, like, it never stops. So we will always be here to talk to you guys about it, be your guide on this wild Joshi adventure. So make sure you're following us on all of our socials at Cult of Joshi, on X, on Instagram, on Facebook. Subscribe to the Cult of Joshi YouTube channel if you watch on YouTube or listen on YouTube. Give this video a like. Give us a comment about all the things that you watched and how you pronounce Marigold and what you thought of Blood and Guts. Literally anything you want to talk about, we want to hear it. But for now, that's all we have. I'm Raja. He's John. So long from the Cult of Joshi.
Bye!